Every introvert dreams of escaping people, but one woman actually did it. Deep inside the frozen Siberian wilderness, cut off from humanity for decades, Agafya Lykova has survived alone. No electricity, no human voice, no way out. Out here, silence isn't peaceful, it's lethal. This is the most brutal isolation survival story ever told.
If you love true survival mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe to Hello Stories.
Agafya Lykova was born in 1944, deep inside the Siberian Taiga, not in a village, not in a hospital, but in a handmade log hut buried in endless forest. From the moment she opened her eyes, the world she knew was brutal. Freezing winds, wolves howling at night, and winters so cold that even metal cracked. Her family had fled civilization years earlier, escaping religious persecution. So Agafya grew up with no electricity, no roads, no human voices outside her family. Her childhood playground was a forest where a single mistake could kill you. She learned to chop wood before she learned to read. She learned to track animals before she learned what a city even was, while the world fought World War II and stepped into the space age. Agafya didn't even know other humans existed beyond her small family. Silence, isolation, and survival. That was her entire universe. Agafya's world wasn't just isolated, it was collapsing around her. By the time she was a child, her family was already losing the battle against the Siberian wilderness. Every winter hit harder than the last. Their clothing froze stiff, their food rotted or vanished into the bellies of wolves. Some nights they slept in shifts because the cold was so brutal, they feared they might not wake up. They had no matches, no metal tools, no medicine, nothing except raw willpower and a belief that suffering was holy. The Lykov family farmed potatoes and rye in soil that barely supported life. When crops failed, and they failed often, they survived on pine bark, mushrooms, and whatever they could trap before the snows swallowed everything. But the worst wasn't the hunger. It was isolation that dug into their minds. Children normally learn by watching other people. Agafya learned by watching her mother cry silently over empty pots. She didn't hear laughter from neighbors. She didn't see strangers pass by. She didn't even know what the word stranger meant. For nearly 4 decades, this family clung to existence, alone, in a world frozen 6 months a year, where a single mistake could erase them forever. They believed they had escaped persecution. What they didn't realize was that the wilderness would become a harsher judge than any enemy they ever fled. And then, after 40 years of absolute isolation, fate finally sent someone into their world. Someone who wasn't supposed to be there. Someone who would change everything. For decades, the Siberian Taiga kept the Lykova family hidden until one mistake exposed their entire world. In 1978, a group of Soviet geologists flew over the mountains searching for iron ore, nothing but endless forest, until one pilot spotted something impossible, a tiny rectangle of cleared land, deep where no human should be. Curiosity won. They landed. When the geologists stepped out, they didn't find a hunter or a lost hiker. They found a barefoot family staring at them with wide, terrified eyes, as if they'd seen spirits. For Agafya, this was the moment her universe shattered. She had never seen a stranger in her life. No cities, no machines, no idea that millions of people lived beyond the trees. To her, these outsiders were unreal, a warning of the world's end. Inside the hut, the geologists were stunned. The family survived on potatoes, pine nuts, and whatever the forest grudgingly gave them. No metal tools, except a few rusted scraps. Clothes stitched and restitched until they were barely holding together. Food so scarce they sometimes boiled bark just to stay alive. This wasn't a simple, isolated lifestyle. This was survival on the edge of collapse. And the cruel twist? The world didn't rescue them. Contact with outsiders brought bacteria and viruses their bodies had never faced within just a few years. 3 of Agafya's siblings were dead. The wilderness hadn't killed them. Civilization had.
If you're fascinated by unbelievable true stories like Roy Sullivan's, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you never miss another tale of courage, survival, and the extraordinary.
When geologists first found the Lykov family, they expected fear, but what they found was far worse. The Lykovs were starving, clothes patched with bark and animal skins, boots made from rags, bones showing through their faces. For decades, they had survived on whatever the forest gave, and the forest was running out. Then the real tragedy began. One by one, Agafya's family fell sick. Her brothers weakened first. Never exposed to modern bacteria, a simple cold became deadly. Within weeks, 3 siblings were gone. Her father, her only guide, died soon after. Agafya was alone. A woman who had never seen a city, touched electricity, or heard a radio, now the last survivor of her family. Imagine that. Your entire world gone in days. Most would collapse. Agafya didn't. With nothing left but memories and a collapsing cabin, she did the only thing she knew: survive. She rebuilt her home, hunted alone, prayed alone, chopped firewood until her hands bled. In the Siberian winter, where breath freezes, she lived on, not because she wanted to, because she had no choice. Agafya wasn't just isolated, she was trapped in a life she never chose. After her family died, she could have left geologists, offered help. Helicopters, journalists, scientists, government officials begged her, "Come with us, you don't have to live like this." She refused, every time. To outsiders, it made no sense. She survived famine, wolves, freezing winters, and the death of everyone she loved. Why stay? The truth, the Taiga was the only world she understood. Cities terrified her. Cars, lights, crowds, alien. Even a short trip to a village for medical care sent her panicking, begging to return. For Agafya, silence wasn't lonely. It was safety. She didn't stay because she loved isolation. She stayed because she had nowhere else. No education, no money, no modern skills. No surviving family leaving would destroy her. Even today, at nearly 80, Agafya lives in the same forest, in a small cabin built by volunteers. Wake before sunrise, chop wood, fetch water from the frozen river, collect firewood before wolves stir. Pray, survive. Food is scarce. Yet potatoes, flour, berries, charity flights. If the helicopter can't reach her, she waits, even if hungry. No electricity, no phone, no radio, one metal pot. People ask why she stays. Her answer, "This is where God put me. This is where I stay." But the truth is harsher. She doesn't know how to live in the modern world. Hospitals confuse her. Crowds overwhelm her. Cities would crush her. The wilderness is the only place that won't break her. Agafya Lykova isn't just a survivor. She's a living time capsule born in a world without electricity. She will likely die in one too. Researchers, journalists, officials call her the last hermit of Siberia. But she's not off-grid. She's living at the edge of human limits. Her life proves humans can survive isolation, but only by sacrificing everything else: comfort, connection, safety, even sanity. Most dream of escaping stress, noise, people. Agafya shows what that escape actually looks like: a silent forest that doesn't care if you live or die, winters that erase footprints, nights where your heartbeat is the only sound, a home that becomes a prison as strength fades. Her story forces one question: is isolation peace or slow destruction? Agafya will never go viral. She won't trend. She won't tell her story on camera. She just wakes up every day and survives, in a place where most wouldn't last 24 hours. As long as she's alive, a piece of old Siberia survives. When she's gone, that world disappears forever. Agafya Lykova is the last chapter of a story humanity stopped writing centuries ago. The forest that protected her will be the one to close the book. Would you survive a life this isolated? Tell us in the comments and subscribe for more real survival stories.
Thank you for watching. If this video didn't waste your valuable time or added any value to your life, even just a little, please consider subscribing to Hello Stories. Until next time, goodbye, warriors.